Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 52 of the Volpe Creates show. I am Chris on this lovely Thursday, August 27th, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I have been thinking about just the state of the industry, as this show is about, and our community conversation here about game development. And I just kind of wanted to look at kind of the prices of stuff. Now, I'm not going to use Steam. I'm going to use the PlayStation Store. And I'm going to use that specifically because I think Steam generally, there's a lot of sales, a lot of indie games, all that kind of stuff. Console games, I think, are generally seen as being more expensive, the console platform, and generally have, I don't know, worse sales, whatever you want to call it. So I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes this morning looking at some pricing. But before we do that, I'm going to move that over there. I just want to talk about the, I guess, feeling of the state of the world. I am fortunate that I have a lot of positive things going for me. I get to work from home. I am, well educated. I've got 2 master's degrees, although those are in healthcare, and I'm in the gaming and creative tech industry. I grew up in a situation where I never had to worry about food on my table, roof over my head, anything like that, right? But I'm struggling. Like, I have been, and my team, who have been a part of Multivarious and GDEX, have been really, really trying to just get through this rough patch. What are we in? We're on August, which is month 8. We'll say we've gone through 8 months. There have been months where we have been able to pay ourselves nothing. Client services is rough. Sales are rough. Everything, sponsorship for GDEX is rough. Like, everything is just really rough right now. And so it's been challenging to be able to stay, positive in the cash flow. And it's been really hard. And so the position I'm in, which is one of, relative privilege, I'm struggling a lot. And so I know that there are other people out there. I know this from when I was running for Senate, and I was out there talking to people that, like, the dollar dues just aren't coming in like they used to. And everything's more expensive. So yeah, just food is a lot more expensive. And it's where we are, and it sucks. However, I also don't think, because there's this idea that because money is tight, that, like, you should not be able to do anything enjoyable ever. And that, you go out and you spend your $5 on your Starbucks, and that's the reason you're broke or whatever, even though all of the financial indicators are telling you otherwise. Now, I do want you to be financially sort of responsible, and there's ways that you can set yourself up for success financially, even in tough economic times. And one of those is that you can choose to engage in activities and a hobby you love at, reasonable, better pricing. And one of the nice things about the video game industry and video games is that a lot of these games you can play for a long time. So if you're just looking at dollar value, there's very few hobbies that are, kind of as good as this. Now, of course, and depending on your local library system and where you're listening from in the world or whatever, you actually may be even able to get games out of your library for free. You can always check out books and movies from your library for free. So reading is a great hobby to be able to pass time and also learn. There's a lot of content on YouTube, which is free, which is great. So I don't know if I'll keep doing this. Oh, I'm sorry, Pumps. Didn't mean to kick you there. I don't know if I'll keep doing this, like, multiple times, and ways to, like, be sort of, I don't know, financially careful during tough times. But since we're in the video games industry and Gamescom is going on, so there's a Gamescom sale, I figured that it might kind of be fun to go through this. So I am just going to grab this window here, and we can share it as we walk through it. I hope all of you are doing well this morning. Tom, I see you. Good morning. How are you? All right, let's go ahead and grab. is it? There it is. PlayStation. Okay. So again, we're just going to kind of look through these and think about how we might be able to utilize the limited resources that we are having in ways that still allow us to enjoy our hobby and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through these, and let's assume let's just take a look at what can we get for the cost of one game. And we'll say for the purposes of this, a game is $70. Okay. So this is going to be like one of those, if you had X number of dollars, what could you do kind of thing. So we're going to go through, pull this up. You see this? So this is the PlayStation Store as of today, August 27th at 9:36 in the morning, Eastern time, of course. And so we're going to look at the games. And again, I don't know how long this sale is going to last, but the point here is that we can kind of just, go through this stuff. So Mortal Kombat, great game. I have here, you can see I've got my filters set up here. These are just the games from $0 to $10. If you're willing to go up a little bit more, you can obviously get things, but we can grab 10 to 20 if we wanted to, but we already have 2,083 titles. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. Okay, so first off, right off the bat, God of War, $10. The game's awesome. And then the other thing I should mention is obviously you can get some of these for free with the PlayStation Plus or whatever. But we're just going to kind of look at the straight pricing here. I'm not signed in, so theoretically this should not be what you're getting. But I don't know. Let me see. Oh, baby pumpkin, what are you two doing? God. Pumpkin's found a way to crawl under the cabinet, and I don't want her down there, but I don't know how to get her out. I'm gonna have to seal it up or something. All right. Anyway, God of War, $10, great game. This is 40 hours of content. Last of Us Remastered, $10, obviously a great game. Bloodborne, a great game. A Way Out, I have not played it, but some people like it. $9. Hogwarts Legacy. And I think this includes this is the PS4 version. I think this includes an upgrade for the PS5, but I wouldn't quote me on that. $9. And then of course you got some older titles here. Among Us, plenty of for $3. Come on, you can do that. Resident Evil Biohazard, $10 now. I think this game is great, but this is not a game that's going to give you a ton of replayability. Control Ultimate Edition is currently 90% off right now for $4. So the Quarry, I just played the Quarry. That was fun. That was $6. Hey Pumps, welcome back. Be a good girl. If there's any games on here that you see, yeah, Tom, when I think of frugal gaming, I immediately think PS5. I know that's why I'm doing this on PS5, because you're going to be able to find, if you're on PC, you're going to be able to find tons of other games for cheap as well. Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I started playing. I did not finish, but that's currently $6. Middle Earth Shadow of War I never played, but I think people like it. It's $5. BioShock the Collection, so this is all 3 games, I believe. This should be all 3 of them. Yep, all 3 games. And that is $10. And the BioShock games are amazing. Absolutely amazing. This I wanted to point out. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition is currently $9. And that is all 3 games. Each game is 40 to 60 hours, and it is great. I've been really debating going back and replaying it. So definitely something we're checking out, in my opinion. Plants vs. Zombies, whatever. The Borderlands games, Borderlands 3, I enjoyed playing, but I don't know if it's not up your area. Terraria is a game that is always brought up when you're talking about quality and the price per dollar or the content per dollar that you get Terraria. So really well received, really well liked game. $10. Power Wash Simulator, $10 if you want to go wash some power. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is currently $6. Until Dawn is $10. I liked Until Dawn. Until Dawn and The Quarry are pretty good. Devil May Cry is $7.50. If you are a Devil May Cry fan. Alien Isolation is $9. I have not played this game because it's too scary. It's a spooky game. But I do want to get to playing it at some point. Now, Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is $6. I'm debating buying this. I know a lot of people in the Civilization space have not really, at least when it was first released. Let's see what the Metacritic score on that is. It's an 8 out of 10, and it's got 7.3 on. So I guess maybe it's improved a little bit. Remember when it first came out, I don't remember what the complaints were, but people seem to complain about it. But $6, I mean, this is a game that you can play a lot. Maybe I'll play this on stream. Soul Calibur 6, if you're a fighting person. Let's see, Tomb Raider again for $3. The Definitive Edition for $3. Come on, yeah, $3. Resident Evil Revelations. Still Weeks to the Deep. I've heard good things about it. I haven't played it, but people seem to really like it. Again, these are in no particular order. We're just kind of, I think we're just kind of moving along. I wish there was a way to release date. Yeah, I wish there was a way to like sort by. We could look at best selling. Let's go by best selling just for fun. Let's see what we got. Batman Return to Arkham. Okay. We've been through some of these. Final Fantasy. I wonder, is the Final Fantasy Pixel Edition? Is there a way for me to like search by? Here, let's go here and see if we can search by a specific title. If you have a specific title, only a sicko would play Plants vs. Zombies on a console. I don't know about that. Is there no way to search, browse? How is there no? Can I search this? And now I've totally forgot what I was even looking up because I was. Oh, Pixel Edition, Final Fantasy. That's right. Final Fantasy 16 is $20. It's actually free on Extra. I just downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I see here. I guess I gotta type in Final Fantasy Pixel. Pixel Remaster. Okay, this one's not for sale. I was gonna say that will give you a lot of bang for your buck. Although it looks like you can buy them separately. Or at least the Pixel editions. A remodel 2-day take on the game. Epic Tale. Okay, so yeah, it looks like this is the Pixel edition. Okay. So I don't know if you took on, what is this, 714. Where's 3? So that's 24. 35. Right. 46. 57. So it looks like if you bought them separately, it would save you money. Assuming these are the Pixel. Yeah. That's interesting. So yeah, you could save some money if you buy the Pixel editions. If you want to go through all the Final Fantasies, man, or at least all the Pixel ones, be able to save some money and get some get a lot of content there. Let's see what else we got. Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. I haven't played that, but people seem to like it. The Stanley Parable, $10. That's fun. That game's great. I'm not going to go through all the pages, obviously. I'm just going to kind of scan through some of these and see what we find. Devil May Cry, Back for Blood. People seem to like Back for Blood, and it's currently $6. So you can see now, like, Inside is a great game. It's not got a lot of replayability, but for $2.50, like, there's a lot of, I don't know what Pools is. I think I've seen that, maybe where it's like a can't touch the water or something. Super hot. Titanic Survival Simulator. That sounds kind of fun. So yeah, I think if you said that, like, you could scrape up, and the beauty of this is you don't have to, right? We're just doing this for fun or whatever. But if you could scrape up $70, you could be getting, somewhere between like 5 to 12 games, depending on what you are. Evil Within, I played that. That's pretty good. $7.50. Chrono Cross, if you want to do that. Don't Starve for $3.74. That's a steal. That game's awesome. I don't know what Lake is, but you can see, like, you could get between 5 to 12 games on the PlayStation Store, and have some really good stuff. There's 87 pages of this, so it's like it's going to take forever. But my point is that even though the costs of everything are super expensive, and yeah, you're not going to be able to get maybe the newest game, the latest title, the one that you want right away. There's plenty of stuff to play, and one of the nice things about video games, what's this? Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. I don't even know what that is. Is that a DLC? But one of the nice things about Late Shift, what is this? All right, color me intrigued. And it's got a 4.41. Okay. What is this? A high-stakes FMV crime thriller. After being forced into a robbery at a lucrative auction house, mathematics student Matt is left proving his innocence. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, you save 10% more with PlayStation Plus. Offer ends 9/10, so it's $5.99 without it. Interesting. Okay, I might add that to my list. That sounds kind of intriguing to play as like a game on stream. So let me add that to my list. See, I'm finding stuff. I have no funds and I must buy a game. Harlan Ellison, are you? What was it called? Late Shift? Late Shift. All right, I'm just going to add that to a wish list. I'll look at that later. Okay. PS Store is looking like Netflix/Hulu is nuts. Sure. Anyway, I think the general gist here is that there is opportunities to, let's turn this off. There are opportunities to find games that could be really cool. Maybe in the future I might try to cross-reference like games that have high Metacritic scores with games that are like on sale. I wonder if there's a, you would think there'd be a website. Gris is on here for $4.24. I'm currently playing that for Volpe Creates Game Club right now, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to take the steam off of the stress and everything, because I know a lot of people are stressed for money. I'm stressed with money, and just remember that gaming, this hobby, this activity, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an artistic, creative endeavor, and it's supposed to help, I would think, make your life more fulfilling and interesting through its experiences. And I forgot to say, one of the nice things about games is that sometimes giving games, like new games, a little bit of time to breathe actually makes the experience better because they get time to like fix the bugs and clean up stuff and do quality of life improvements. And so maybe it's worth it sometimes to just let a game sit for a couple of months and then go buy it when it's on sale. So there's plenty of opportunities to grab great games, cross-reference them against Metacritic and see what the Metacritic scores are. But I bet if I just go through here and I was able to parse out all of the games that had less, like a 79 or less on Metacritic, I bet there would still be a bunch of great games on here that are for sale at reasonable or low prices. So I don't know. I was thinking about money this morning because, like I said, I'm tight on money, and like every time I buy my Starbucks or whatever, I was like, should I be spending my $5.50 on a coffee? And the answer is probably not. But also, I don't really spend money on a lot of other stuff, and I'm trying to be very trying to be frugal, but I'm also, I just turned 45. My best friend just died. So I think a lot of that's in my head where it's like, well, I'm going into the back half of my life here. I need to be setting myself up for success so that I don't have to be, I don't have to be forced into working until the day I die. If I'm working on something, it's because I want to. And then that got me started thinking about video games and all the money I've spent on games over the years. And my personal goal is to get $2.5 million in my my investing accounts, because that should be enough money to cover me without having to worry about it every year, just in interest alone. And so, that'll make it somewhere between like $100,000 and $125,000 a year in interest and growth payments, or whatever you want to call it, for my investments. And I was like, okay, that should be enough for me to just do what I want to do, help people, build products, make games, all that kind of stuff. I know it's easy to do retail therapy. I broke my watch this morning when I was trying to put the battery thing back on. I was like, well, maybe I'll buy a new watch. And I don't even wear watches. Like I had this watch. I really like this watch, and I'm bummed that it broke. And it doesn't even look like you can buy that watch anymore, that style, that design. And so I was looking at watches, and I was like, all right, I'm going to see what's around for like $50 or so. And then I started creeping up to like 300. And then I found a watch I really liked, and it was like 700. And I was like, do I really need a $700 watch for a guy who like never wears watches? Because I've always got my phone on me, which I can just look at the time on that. So, I don't know. But also, you don't want to live where you're just always stressed out about money. But the reality is particularly if you're younger, if you're under 30, you have an opportunity to make a lot of like really powerful decisions with your finances. And then after 30, of course, you can still do it, but it's just the time you have when you're 30 and under. Tom, get an AR watch app where you can look at your wrists with your phone and see a watch there. I could do that, but that doesn't really. My goal is to keep things simple. Like I've had Apple Watches before, and I just want something that looks nice, that I can take to various events and tells the time. I'm getting into a very simple, like I always have this pen on me. So if you ever see me like writing stuff, I'm writing with this pen. I got that as a gift, and I'm just trying to really simplify my life and keep it at a reasonable cost. So anyway, I don't know if this episode is worthwhile to anything. Love to hear your comments in the comments of the YouTube channel. Reminder, I do this every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time over at Twitch/volpecreates. And then I also have my YouTube channel where I post these videos every day. So it's youtube.com/volpecreates. So anyway, really enjoyed talking about this, thinking about this stuff with you. Thank you, Tom, for the comments in the chat. And please feel free to throw things in the description. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.